Hey, what's going on everybody? Verdi here with another Race Shadow Legends video. Today we're going to be talking about a brand new Knight Revenant epic, and that is Sepulcher Sentinel. Let's go ahead and take a look at her skills. She's a defense-based champion, and on her A1, she attacks one enemy and has a 40% chance of placing a 50% decreased attack debuff for 2 turns. So, decreased attack on A1, this is extremely valuable for clan boss and for dungeons, so very good move. I'm glad that we got another champion with attack down, and this champion is force based. Before we had Altan Jareg and Terrell kind of being the most used, but I'm assuming that she's going to be used more now because I think she's very good. And also another good thing about this is that it is a 60, and then with the mastery, 65% chance of placing the decreased attack, which is a very good chance to place it. And then on her A2, places a 60% increased defense buff and a block debuff buff on all allies for 2 turns. This is on a 4-turn cooldown. If this was on a 3-turn cooldown, she would be god tier. Like, she would be absolutely amazing. She's still very good, but I don't know how come they do things like this with not the right amount of cooldowns. Like I said, if this was 3 turns, this would be perfect for the clan boss, because it would allow you to have the block debuff stuff up for the stun and for the spirit clan boss, and the increased defense, being able to maintain that for most of the fight is also very valuable. Alright, and then her passive, Untouched by Death. This move is really cool. It has a 25% chance of completely blocking incoming damage when this champion or their allies are attacked. Occurs once per turn. So this is once again really good for clan bosses, really good for dungeons. I mean, completely blocks incoming damage. It is somewhat random, but when it does happen, it's definitely very nice. And then her aura increases ally defense in all battles by 25%. So same aura as Terrell, a little bit worse than Altan and Martyr, but she is an epic, so that is understandable. Decent hit points. And very nice base defense. Speed is okay. 98 is definitely acceptable. All right, and let's go ahead and take a look at the artifacts that I have on her. So I went lifesteal and accuracy. If you have lifesteal and speed, that's also fine. If you can get the speed requirement, so that's even either above 171 tuned for Nightmare, or 171 above 171 tuned for an Ultra Nightmare Super Tanky team, or above 191. Either way, if you can get defense percentage boots, I would recommend going with defense percentage boots and giving her even more defense. So yeah, I have lifesteal. I pretty much just went for speed, accuracy, defense percentage. Obviously you get some resistance rolls along the way. And yeah, defense, and speed. For clan boss Ultra Nightmare especially, you want to have at least 4k defense. Well, not at least, but 4k is a really good number, so you can survive longer. And then yeah, jewelry, very defensive, and then an accuracy banner. Her skills, I fully booked, and I recommend, if you're going to use her mainly for your attack down and in dungeons and stuff like that, I'll definitely book her. She's definitely a very good champion. And then masteries, I went with offense as support, War Master down here, and here I went with Master Hexer and Sniper, Lore of Steel, and I actually went with Cycle of Magic to try to get that cooldown down on her A2. If you don't want to do the support tree, you can go down the defense tree. It will go Tough Skin, Blastproof, Resurgent, Delay Death, Retribution, and Deterrence. So that's masteries and artifacts. Let's go take a look at her full stats. 32k health, 4500 defense, 185 speed, and 247 accuracy. Those are the important stats, and she's pretty much decently geared for Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss. So we're going to go ahead and do a run here. I normally use Altan, but we're going to use her and see how she does. Alright, and let's go ahead and run the Clan Boss. Alright, this is the team. I'll probably run it on manual most of the time. Alright. So I do have it set up to where on auto, like if I click auto here, Razin won't do bog down. And the reason for that is he needs to be above 180 speed or so. So I think 181, 182 speed will work on him being fast enough so that Bogdan does not activate on auto. I think the way Bogdan activates is depending on the mob's turn meter. So if Razin is fast enough, the clan boss won't be able to get enough turn meter for him to activate Bogdan. That's pretty much how it works. So that's pretty much how I understand it. So if you guys are having Razin do Bogdan on clan boss on you on auto, so go ahead and give him some more speed, and that will help you out a lot. But yeah, I want to run it on manual to try to time some of this block debuffs and defense up properly. All right. I did not build Sepulcher for damage, but I'm sure that she would work fine if you build her for damage and still could get around 4k defense or so. My Altan runs like 3,800 defense, but he has over 200 crit damage and almost 100% crit rate. And that works out really nicely on clan boss because you add that extra damage. And every little bit helps. Every little bit definitely helps. Alright, perfect. Yeah, I ran this on auto before, and the stuff was getting a little bit messed up for me. I probably have to tune it a little bit better. I was getting, these two were getting stunned. It doesn't happen with Altan in the fight. It does not happen with Altan in the fight. So I think it's maybe because she's too fast or because of her debuffs. But yeah, if something gets messed up on you on auto, definitely try to run it manual. Don't always judge a champion on how good they are based on just how well they do on auto, because the AI is dumb, and we can't expect the AI to be perfect. But yeah, when you like I said, if she had this on a 3-turn cooldown and you were always able to keep this up before the stun, man, this would be an insane champion for the clan boss. Like I said, I think she's still very good. It's just that little bit of extra there on the cooldown would be amazing. All right. She does have a very high chance of placing the attack down, as I mentioned. So she's actually able to keep it up by herself. Sometimes Tyrell and Altan will drop it. Altan not as much as Tyrell, because let's say you get caught in an instance where Tyrell's using his A2 and his A3 and he doesn't land it on his counterattack. You could run into trouble. But I've noticed that with her, she places it pretty much every time. Every time she hits, she has a much higher chance than Tyrell. So yeah, I'm definitely very happy with a lot of the new champions. It's nice to get a couple of additions, especially for the clan boss, because I feel like attack down, it's It's so hard to get sometimes. And if you're not going for the fusion, 100% fuse this chick. At least fuse her and use her, because she's definitely very good. She's definitely very good. I do around, I've done like 27, 28. I think it's more average around like 26, 27 with Altan. I wonder what we're going to do with her. This is my first like manual run with her. I'm trying to maximize the damage here. If you do hear any sort of singing in the background, I do have my daughter with me today, so I apologize for that. Sometimes you can't keep the beast under control. But we gotta do those YouTube videos, right? We gotta get it done. Okay, we just have to stop here for a second. That's why the time is a little bit long here. But let's keep trucking along. Let us keep trucking along here. I will show, at the end of the fight, I will show everyone else's stats. Valk has really high defense, so her shield's kind of large. This definitely helps the fight a lot. But yeah, like let's say you didn't have a Martyr or a Valk, like you can use a Jarl or another Poisoner. Technically, these two don't both need to be here. But currently they are here. Martyr's here for the defense up, and Valkyrie's here for the counter attack. You could run another defense up champion, like I said, like Jarl or something like that, and that would work as well. So just don't be discouraged by the fact that I am using two of the legendary counter champions. Well, actually, the only legendary counter champions. So yeah, with this addition to the roster of an attack down champion, I was hoping that they would release, or that they will release at some point, a magic counter champion. We have a force, we have a spirit. I really don't know why we don't have one, right? Like we should get a magic counter. It would be good for the game, and it would allow you to have each affinity. And I really don't know their reasoning or logic behind not having another counter in the game. And yes, people are going to say because they're greedy, but that's not even close to a reason. So I need them to come up with something better, or give me a counterattack champion. A magic one. I mean, it doesn't have to be legendary. It doesn't have to be as good as Martyr and Valkyrie, but it should be on Skullcrusher's level. At least that's how I feel about it. You can let me know in the comments below how you feel about the current counterattack state in the game. But I would like to see a couple more. It's not game breaking to have a counterattack. It's just good for clan boss. You really don't need it for anything else. Like Fire Knight counterattack is good, but once again, not necessary. I don't use counterattack anymore on Fire Knight. Actually, I never did, because I only have Skullcrusher on my account, and I was all set with that. He just slows down your runs. Like if you're not winning, then it's okay. But if you can set up some sort of a speed comp, it's usually going to be better than something you can do with counter for Fire Knight. If you had defense masteries here too, she would be able to not get stunned sometimes. So that could also be something to think about when it comes to masteries. I don't want defense down and weaken to fall off. So we're just gonna keep stacking it on there. Defense down and weaken are both very important. It feels bad when you get resisted or your bar gets filled up and you don't get to land those. You can definitely notice a huge drop on damage. I don't have her built for damage. I mentioned that before. But if you wanted to, you could. The reason why I didn't is because she does only have one. She does only have one attack. And even though it does hit decently hard, I didn't want to fully ungear Altan. And I don't have another decent lifesteal damaging set. So I kind of just, I want to use them both because like I said, depending on the affinity, I'm going to use her over Altan. And I didn't want to have to ungear Altan and her every time I want to use them. So I think it's going to work out better this way, and then down the road I'm going to try to improve the damage that she does. But this way you guys get to see the video, and you guys can make a decision on whether you want to build her or not. But I think that she's definitely very good. Definitely very, very good. Rosin died a little bit early there, but that's fine. We should still do a good amount of damage. Rosin could use a little bit more defense. He's at like 3,300 or so, but I have some crit and stuff on him, so that way he does a little bit more damage. I could always easily 3-key with this team, so I'm making improvements as I get better gear. I don't want to just do a small increase on the gear because I'm technically just wasting silver and whatever. I'm waiting for like really good pieces to start upgrading because currently everything works. So, and honestly, if we get that artifact sorting system, it's going to be a lot easier to equip people and min-max. So I'm kind of waiting for that as well. I know I'm probably going to be waiting a really long time, but going through 500 artifacts that are all decent, it's really bad. It's definitely really bad about the sorting system. It takes forever. Alright, we're probably getting close to the end of the run here. Yep. And here we go. 27.09 mil damage. So I'm assuming that if you put damage on her, she'll probably do 5 to 6 mil, which is really good. And she kept up attack down even without, like, if Marta wasn't there, I'm pretty sure that she did not miss many attack downs. So yeah, let's take a look at her artifacts again. She has all defense, lifesteal and axe sets. Lifesteal set's important. The accuracy set is not. If you can get the accuracy without it, feel free to use whatever you have. You could do crit damage gloves and crit damage neck here if you can get the crit rate elsewhere. And then she is booked and masteries. She has War Master and Kill Streak down here. Sorry, not Kill Streak. Methodical. And the rest of the team, let's see. Rosin has 100 crit rate, not high crit damage, but good accuracy, and he's missing a little bit of defense. And then Valk is kind of the key part of that team with 7k defense. And Marta's stats. And Draco stats. So yeah, everyone's in lifesteal. and all that good stuff to increase the survivability and the damage that you can do. And once again, I want to say that Sepulcher is an awesome champion. If you have her, please build her. She's definitely going to do really well for you. Also, if you're not doing the fusion, at least fuse her, because you're definitely not going to regret it. So yeah, I think that's going to be it for today's video, guys. Please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.